I think the bottom line is, me and Kevin are similar in this way, is do the best with what you got when it comes to off ice training. Like, is it the best to work with Gary Roberts and be in the gym 3 times a week, on the ice 2 times a week, having optimal programs? Yeah, that's probably the best option, right? Or you get a guy like Kevin or whoever it is and skate with them all summer and train with them all summer. I'd say that's a good option, but not everybody has that option. So if your second best option is to get on the treadmill and go pump weights by yourself 3 times a week, then that's your option, right? Do that. Get out there and stick handle 3 times a week. Shoot 2 times a week. Find whatever it is you can to get after it and make yourself better. It really comes down to you and your motivation to improve, I think. And money's a factor, time's a factor. All these things are factors, and everyone's situation's different, right? And I respect that. I can appreciate that coming from where I came from. And I think looking back, I could have did more, taken more upon myself to improve myself on my own time instead of wasting time, right? You only get a finite amount of time every summer to improve your skills. And if you spend, I was probably bad for this, just like I was bad for this in school. When I had a test on Friday, I'm not studying until Thursday, right? And I don't advocate that, but that's just how I was. And if I had to try out September 1st, I wasn't training until the middle of end of August. So I think consistency is key with these things. And if you can get started as early as possible and just find a way to do something 3-4 times a week, that's gonna pay off come tryouts comes the season. And I think something me and Kevin talked about the other day is just getting yourself that 1% better every single day if possible, no matter what that is. If for you it's going for a walk around the block, or it's having a green smoothie, or it's putting down the cigarette, whatever it is for you, just try to get yourself 1% better every single day, and it pays off long term.
Yeah, it really does. And, I touched on it again, but I just think it's so important to just hammer this home. A lot of people hide behind I don't have the resources to do A, B, and C. And I'm going to tell you, like, I own a gym. I train on the ice for, 5-6 hours, 8 hours some days during the summers, right? I can tell you this, that there's a ton of guys that I work with and a ton of guys in our gym that can't pay me. But they can pay me in other ways, right? Because one of my the asset is time for me, right, as a business owner. Mm-hmm. So you want to come in and mop the floor every morning for us? Hey, that saves me an hour of time. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. You know what? Jump in with these guys.
I appreciate that.
Right? You want to get on the ice? Well, come help me when I work with the younger kids, right? Push pucks around for me. Help keep them, focused and motivated. I had a kid that took a bus an hour every morning just to come make it and train. Right, like that's initiative. Like
that's unreal, yeah.
Right, and I never got paid for it, and that's cool. That was part of the deal. But he took a bus an hour each way, and he would help me out. He'd do anything that I would ask of him. Right, if I needed help with a camp, if I needed help, cleaning a facility, anything like that, he would help. When we put the ice back in the rink, he was there. So really, the motivation and the compound interest, like, you look at the resolve that it takes to do that. Those are lessons that continue to compound, right? Mm-hmm. They grow on each other. If you're 1% better in your ability to create value for another person, guess what? That translates really well to business and and to your regular life, right? Yeah. So like, forget hockey. Hockey's the microcosm.
Yeah.
But we're trying to teach life lessons through hockey. So really, really self-evaluate. Like, to me, summer training is all about how motivated are you? Like, are you Are you the guy that says, like, oh yeah, I worked out 5 days a week, and in reality you worked out 3, and 2 of those 3 you were on your phone for half the time? Or are you the guy that says, like, man, hey, my family doesn't have the resources to get me on the ice all the time, but I found a way.
Mm-hmm, exactly. And I think there's a lot of those guys out there. I think a lot of the guys in the NHL would be those guys, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe not so much today, but 5-10 years ago, and probably today, I don't know what difference that would make, but I think there's a lot more money involved in the sport today, where more guys in the NHL are coming up with that full-time training background. But a lot of guys in the NHL probably had that resolve to just make it happen, no matter how they had to make it happen, right? And I touched on this in the last podcast of friends of mine who played with Yager, saying he would do 1,000 bodyweight squats a day, 1,000 lunges a day. Those are free guys, right? Push-ups are free. Pull-ups at the park are free. Sprints are free. So I think you make a good point there that financial situations can be an excuse at times. And I really liked what you said about just finding a way to make it happen. And don't be afraid to ask. That's kind of my takeaway from that little story you told there is don't be afraid to ask. I think good people are more willing to help you out than you would think.